Okay. That's it. So that's how we started big, got small, again went big, क्योंकि शाहरुख खान ने बोला है ना, हार के जीतने वाले को ही बाजीगर कहते हैं. So we continued our thing, and today we are capable of producing any game, any type of game. Our team is quite mature. Our studio is now Pascal Luban, who started as this, now is the creative director in our studio. And the studio has a clear focus, clear understanding. We spent close to 8 months on the current title, Tum. And we are going to finish this by February, most probably. But we are not in a hurry. We will go through enough gameplay testing. We'll definitely like to add a lot of experience in the game. And we would definitely like this game to be on Xbox 360 also. Time will tell. Thank you very much. That's it. Any question you can ask us. Technical question? Any question? Yeah. Yes, it did. Yes.
Or overshot the resources you had
Yes.
budgeted. So midway, you probably would have had to refinance your game
Yes.
to some extent, maybe reorganize it, maybe
Yes.
lose some equity. I mean, I don't know, but if I was in your shoes, then I would imagine that losing some equity in the studio would have been an option. So I don't know how or how much you would want to share,
Oh.
but I would love to know. I mean, if to the extent you are comfortable sharing, that how did those setbacks affect your project, your budget, etc.? I mean, if there is some amount you can talk of or share.
Okay, good question. It didn't affect much. It affected mentally. Like we were completely in shock what's going on. There had been a lot of budget overshoot time also, because we were planning to release it in August 2010. And in fact, that was initial plan. That was absolutely vague. But initially, as I said, that there was no budget allocation. Budget allocation happened only after our GDC and game connection and certain other feat. And generally, like as I said, I started with saying like the Microsoft project and the processes and projects and other things. One of the things which we did right was outsourcing a lot of things. And in fact, still, a lot of things were out of control, but I was continuously taking the buy-in, as I mentioned. I took 4 months buy-in there when the gameplay testing happened. And before that, also when things were going wrong and agents had come into the picture and we started squeezing down in terms of the size of the project again. As I said, that everybody knew that we are starting out. Our stakeholders knew that we started out. And they were generous enough to, give me that oversized budget, But still, it is far more less than any other game you'll come to know about. So we didn't invest so much because we were not using our resources everywhere, and nobody was sitting idle ever. Like this guy can highlight because on this, more because he is the guy who's with the team. But generally, it's like it was a phase when we were doing nothing. It was that was the phase when we were working on Tum also. So in a way, our other project, because we were not sure what's happening there, in our US agent's office and all those things. But we were working on Tum. We had the solid, understanding of Tum, and it was being worked at the same time. So now you'll see back-to-back releases from the, studio. So in a way, it's two projects amalgamated into like one studio, one big scheme of thing, and still managing the finances. So I would say probably, it affected 5 to 10%, not beyond that. So that's okay, all right with us, in fact.
Okay. Thanks. Thanks for the answer, and thanks for the awesome presentation.
Thank you. Both? No, not really. It's basically, again, the same kind of philosophy we have. We always keep seeing the resources availability and other things. So most of the time, our core team is always on, the big thing. Then gameplay, generally the changes which are being done in the SNS and whatever had been done were more in the gameplay. So gameplay actually is like a later phase when you actually have everything, your framework is ready, your all the AI, physics and other things are ready. So when these guys are working on those, because they already completed their task on SNS, so they moved on, and the gameplay or mission programmers, they are working on the SNS things and changing all those things, because the gameplay, that aspect will start now.
Since Zen is mostly into simulations and other things, and Smash and Survive is all about destruction derby, and so you definitely had to draw a line somewhere between realism and arcadey sort of a gameplay. Yeah. So how much time did you spend? I mean, just a ballpark thing. How much of say in a percentage time did you spend in recalibrating and balance and other issues?
Ashwani would like to highlight on that. Though I know, I can.
As initially mentioned, the first one, first playtesting that we did was like you have a too realistic car physics. The initial video that you saw was having a spring and all those things, but then drivability was not fun as far as the game is concerned. It was realistic. So given that scenario, we had to spend around 2 months time on the physics time, reworking the components that needed more fun element.
One of the issue here was Infernal. No car game in its catalog. So car physics was another, something which we actually, we had to write. Even that realistic car physics, we had given a lot of time on that and got that, but suddenly it was not going down too well with the audience, the kind of people who were coming in and people seeing those games and stuff. So then, but the basics still remain the same. We just needed to tweak certain things and, probably removal is generally easier, So we took 2 months time and, got arcadish kind of thing, which is like fun to play kind of thing, not too realistic.
Were the trailers done in-house or did you have to outsource those?
Yeah, come again?
Sorry?
Were the trailers also done in-house or did you outsource?
All in-house. All in-house. Initial trailer, the first trailer which you saw, the guy standing on the cliff and all, that was outsourced.
Just to add to that, that 2 month was not a time dedicated by the whole team. It was 2 programmers primarily working on the physics component, just to clarify.
Any other question?
Is the vehicle concepts are from affiliated with any car models, existing car models, or you come up with your own vehicle models? Or
you're talking about the concepts or the modeling?
Modeling.
Huh?
Yeah. Modeling and concepts.
Modeling are completely in-house.
Yeah.
Concepts, what I believe that we have 42 cars in our game. In fact, all 42 concept cars. It's really tough for one person or two person to come with 42 different ideas
that's
all together. So we have 2 concept artists in our company, but those were not good enough. So we outsourced a lot of car concept creation.
So all are completely new.
Yes, absolutely. 42 absolute unique cars which you can customize also.
Yeah. Thanks. And since I'm not in the first half of the presentation, what kind of technologies you are used, like game engines, any like Unreal Engine?
We use the Infernal engine, and we have a lot of middlewares. Like we have Speed Tree, we have Miles, and certain other things. Fmod for the sound.
Is there any India support on the PlayStation, or you just connect to the Japan?
It's not for India.
Yeah.
It's only for US and Europe.
Europe, okay.
Yes. So we are acting locally, but selling globally.
Dev kits you get by the US or Europe.
Come again, please.
Dev kits. PS3 dev kits, support licenses?
Yeah, those are from Europe.
Okay.
So, in fact, Indian territory is governed by Sony Europe. So, if they, just in case if they decide, they can launch it here. But Sony right Japan, now the talks are that, they are first focusing on those areas and then they'll plan a launch here and all that. So, we're not too involved in those decisions. And it's fine for us.
Okay. So, the game is now available all the marketplaces around the world. So, yeah. Did you showcase the game box?
What's that?
That means the game box, PS3 cover,
Uh-huh.
box cover, title box.
Box. Okay, box cover. I have it. I didn't show. In fact, I need to just pull it out from somewhere. It's there on the Facebook and everywhere, though. So I just need to actually, quickly pull out. I actually moved a lot of stuff, but you can actually meet me separately. I'll show you the box cover. It's there. It's there on our Facebook page also. So I was sorry, I should have put that here. In fact, I should have put. But it looks fantastic.
My question is on the business side of this game. So,
Okay, yeah.
do you have any ballpark figures on your mind that the number of shipments that will justify the return on the investment that you have made on this game? And secondly, how do you plan to market this game? Do you want to pitch in as India's first PS3 game and primarily look into Indian market?
No. I'll first answer the second question. I don't want to pitch it as the India's first PS3 game. That's why I didn't put it here also. It is a game for the gamers. That's it. And that's what my focus has always been. I am not too bullish about the local content, PS2, because it supports the Indian territory. We are making game because we know pretty much the art of making game. Like we learned how to make simulation. Now we are making game for the gamers. For which anybody, like you want to play, you can play. Somebody in US wants to play. So we don't want to pitch it like that. Neither our studio is pitched as India's best console game or the only console or only PS3 studio or sort of thing. We are a studio which is making world-class game, wants to make world-class game, sell to the world, the global territory. What was your first question again?
If you can share some ballpark figures which will justify your return on investment that you have made on this game.
Investment?
Yeah.
Investment, it's around 1 million.
1 billion?
1 million.
$1 million. Okay.
Dollars, yeah.
Okay.
So that's pretty cheap by international standards.
So when you started thinking about this game, was the idea of creating a legacy or a chain of games on the same
Same
brand,
thing?
on the same brand, or
the idea is generally, one thing which is very common if you go to GDC US and all, they generally talk, which we learned, and we talked with a lot of people also. Every game should be sequel ready. Every game should be like every IP should be a franchisee kind of thing. That's how we start with. Whether we can make it a franchisee or not, whether we can actually sustain this IP or not is another story. So, but every studio wants to do that. Like Red Dead Redemption, if it stops there, it's probably heartbreaking for us. It should actually continue. I would love to see it continue. Of course, there is something as a concept that it died. So, there are a lot of things I can know. But I would say that yes, some things should continue. So we would like to, because we have some demographic survey data with us, which says that this game will sell X number of copies, which I will not share here because that's not the agenda right now. So that actually gives us confidence that when we have physics, when we have AI, when we have car, when we have all those, only thing missing is those kind of tracks which are required for racing. Let's go ahead and do it. So it's not that kind of effort, but still the experience will be altogether new for the users. So you play NFS Most Wanted and you play NFS Hot Pursuit and then you play NSF Shift. So it's something like that. So we want to do that. And then the SNS Reprisal, because we have everything ready for SNS Reprisal. We are considering as a prologue, which also has its own market and stuff. Then we had actually a lot of twist and tail, multiple ending kind of game, which was there, which we worked and which we almost finished. Why not to, now we have finished this, we are at the verge of finishing next. Why not to, tighten each and every corner of that and release that similar multiple ending car-based game. I would definitely tout it as the world's first multiple ending kind of car vehicle combat game. So definitely yes.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Rajat, I personally should say that the trailers were truly amazing.
Thank you.
And I personally will wait for the game to be released in the market.
21st November. Wait for it.
So, on behalf of NASCOM, I'd just like to present this commentary to you.
Thank you.